Okay, hello.
Hello. It's another movie commentary. Sorry, you're doing the intro this time.
Yes, well,
you're
indeed.
Doing the whole thing.
Welcome to a Nerdmotron commentary featuring me, a special guest. After the community's shocking decision to pick The Hobbit trilogy as the film of choice over the masterpiece that is 1998's Lost in Space, today's episode is a bit of a guest takeover, also known as the anticipated cavalcade of filth. It really won't be that bad. It's a great movie with absolutely nothing controversial or creepy or even mildly inappropriate dialogue.
No, not at all.
I anticipate no problematic writing or acting, so let us begin.
Yeah.
Pressing play now.
Yeah.
We've got, hopefully the New Line Cinema logo should come in.
Yeah.
Spinning in.
New Line doing its thing.
Doing its flippies.
New Line, though.
New Line.
Little link back to The Hobbit there.
It is. We don't talk about that, though.
Yeah, we're past all that now.
So here we are.
Yeah, there's a big space
Spaceship
station.
flying over across.
And a bit of exposition about the state of this future world.
Indeed.
A little bit of social commentary. Pollution has run rampant and destroyed the Earth, and now they're all having to run away in a big, elaborate science experiment.
It's extreme.
I mean,
It looks very much like Halo at this stage as well.
Yeah, they could have put all of this energy towards, like, building a colony on Mars or something like that.
Well, we'll come to the massive plot hole of this in a minute.
Oh, okay.
So they're talking about how they need to build the hyperspace ring around Earth so that they can then get to Alpha Prime or wherever they're going.
Yeah.
But in order
terrorism!
Oh, it's happening already. Shit's hitting the fan.
This Cold War just got hot!
Oh, spoilers. Battle stations.
I like the design of those ships and those dudes.
The Global Sedition have a good sort of creepy tech thing. Oh,
There
here he
is.
is with his robot contacts.
Matthew Stephen LeBlanc.
Well, let's get into the cast. Let's do it in order of appearance this time.
Okay.
So
who
we have...
was that? Who was that sedition guy then? Who was the first?
Well, here's Lenny James, but let's talk about the actual main cast. So we've got Matt LeBlanc here. He was in Friends, as we all know, and Joey, playing a character called Joey.
Oh yeah, I've heard of Joey.
He was in Episodes, which was an excellent documentary about making comedy films in Hollywood, playing himself. He also went through an awkward Top Gear phase, thanks to misunderstanding which Chris Evans he was replacing. It turns out he would never be Captain America, so he left after his contract expired.
I think he would be a good Captain America, personally.
Maybe.
That would be a very... Oh, I'm sure somebody's probably done this, but if somebody should do like a mock-up of the Friends cast as the Avengers, I think that would be very interesting.
We were on a break. He's right on my tail. You gotta get him, can't shake him. Oh yeah, so this is English actor Lenny James. Best known from me, certainly, from Snatch. And apparently he's been in over 100 episodes of The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead now. He was in Les Miserables, Snatch, and 14 episodes of Hung, a show about a male prostitute with a 9-inch penis.
Right. Well,
So that's Lenny James for you.
That's an illustrious career.
This is Ranger 1. I'm coming in.
My ship's broken.
He's got such a really recognisable voice. And like...
John, wait, what's his name? Don. I think his name, isn't it?
Hey, did we miss...
I need you to perform an incredibly dangerous maneuver. Potentially illegal.
I know you said it earlier, but did we miss the This Cold War Just Got Hotline?
Yeah.
I was chatting
I think it's like the first thing that guy says.
That's true. Last one to kill a bad guy buys the beer.
It's just his quote a minute.
It really is.
Well, I mean, there's those two, and then that's about it.
Oh, a bit of gay panic there. Nothing wrong with any of the dialogue so far?
I mean, I can't really read the subtitles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You forgot your glasses again, didn't you?
I lost my glasses.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a pain. No, I didn't lose them here. I left them in the office and they were gone.
Do you think he did the custom paint job on his ship there with the shark teeth thing? Because they're all the same.
No, I think he bought that ship second hand. Oh,
little stutter there.
Stutter there.
But PlayStation doesn't like this. Lost in Space.
Did you ever watch the newer Lost in Space Netflix show?
Yes, I tried to delete it from my mind.
I thought it was pretty good.
It had potential.
I liked.
It took itself serious in a weird way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Silicon Graphics actually sponsored a lot of this, so a lot of the actual graphics in the ship and in the background are actual Silicon Graphics things.
Ah, yeah, nice.
And this is the young Will Robinson. When I was that age, I actually looked like him, and everyone would tease me about him calling me Will Robinson when this film came out, because I'm a bit of a nerd as well. Talking about cameos, the principal there, that was... hang on, actually pull the list up, because I can't remember the specific names of everyone. I've got a little note here. Apparently all surviving cast members were originally meant to have cameo appearances. June Lockhart, the original Maureen Robinson, plays the principal. So that's the principal of his school. Looking great in a bikini.
I think the I think the guy that played Dr. Smith shows up later on, talking to the Gary Oldman.
We'll come
Dr.
to that.
Smith.
We'll come to that.
Okay.
So this is Maureen Robinson, Mimi Rogers, who what have I got? I'm just trying to do the cast in order of appearance here. So from Quincy and Magnum PI through the X-Files to something called Bosch, which is presumably about power tool development. Another prolific actor, very long career, who's been in lots and lots and done a load, most of which I'm unfamiliar with.
Yeah.
Now we've got boring, bland William Hurt here. So he's the blandest thing in this film.
Boring, bland William Hurt?
This film, he's more robotic than the robot.
I guess.
But he does his job.
He's a
bearded action hero. What's he supposed to do?
He's a fairly...
Oh, okay, so let's get into the plot here. So they're building a ring around the planet so that they can hyperspace to Alpha Prime. But it's going to take them 20 years to get there and build the thing at the other end, by which point the Earth is fucked. So surely the goal should have been to go to Alpha Prime to build the receiving gate first before you start building it on Earth, because it's going to take that long to build. So you're going to have like a 10-year gap where the ring is finished here and there's nowhere to go, and Earth is just dying even faster.
Yeah.
I thought about that. I saw somebody make a note about it and I was like, that's totally true.
It doesn't really matter.
Anyway, so William Hurt, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Also known as Secretary of State Thaddeus Ross.
Boo. Stupid man.
According to IMDb, he first graced our screens in 1997 on 2 episodes of Kojak as Jake No Last Name.
Who loves you, baby?
It was great in Humans and a boatload of stuff I've never seen nor heard of.
Humans?
But somehow I already know totally who he is. Now that's acting.
That is acting.
He's in Humans. He plays the owner of the robot that's... Sort of,
oh, is he playing his character from AI?
No.
Artificial intelligence.
Oh, and here's Lacey Chabert.
Playing Angry Teen.
Well, here's the thing about her, right? Lacey Chabert, Penny Robinson, also known as Eliza Thornberry.
Okay, interesting.
Very prolific voice actor and actor since the early 90s. She's done 104 episodes of Transformers Rescue Bots. She was Gwen Stacy in The Spectacular Spider-Man. She was in Young Justice and Justice League Action and some other Justice stuff as Zatanna Zatara. She was Daisy Johnson in Quake in the Avengers cartoon. She's been in movies like Mean Girls, many, many other things.
Yeah.
She was the original voice actor for Meg Griffin before Mila Kunis took over in the second season due to her having other commitments, I think college and school and stuff. Also, very well known for her role in Kung Fu Panda, the TV series. I mean, not at all. That was a gag.
I know some of those things that she's been in. But...
This is all misinformation. Your skin does not inflate like a balloon when you go into the vacuum of space. Nor do you pop.
No. But I mean, he would know that, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Like he's.
Well, that's why he's like, do they have a name with what's wrong with you? Like sassy kid.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is Will Robinson. So here we have Jack Johnson as Will Robinson, an epic start to his acting career as Tootles in Jeeves and Wooster.
Interesting.
He did a few movies and an episode
of
VR.
I like that she's just got an escape ladder.
Oh yeah. It was from the.
it was. She was in her. Yeah, it was in her little pack thing.
Well, maybe it was from her time on Party of 5, where she had to sneak out at night a lot.
Possibly.
My sister was obsessed with that show. That's how I knew her, but I think she was in that whilst this was filming. So yeah, he seemingly gave up acting in about 2004, and he's got a couple of editing and cinematography credits since then. But good work. I hope you have a normal life now, and people don't run down the street shouting "Danger, Will Robinson" at you.
Yeah, that would get annoying, I would imagine.
Yeah. Will's fine's fair.
I mean, does anybody... I don't think there's much danger of that, because I don't think anybody actually remembers this movie.
I think that's harsh and untrue, and I definitely remember it.
I mean, we remember it, because we're us, but I think the general public, you go to them and say Lost in Space, and they'll either think the Netflix thing or the 60s thing.
So is this the general here? Because I think this is the original Will Robinson.
Well, you would know.
I'm reading it. The general is it? Yes, it is general. So they call him the general. So this guy here is Mark. No, it's not that. Where is he? I've lost the fucking list. It's all out of order because I'm doing it in order of appearance now, and I'm being silly.
Yeah, why do you think I never do them in order of appearance?
I was trying to be clever. I fucked it up, haven't I?
You fucked it.
Oh no, Mark Goddard. Yeah, he's the original Don West playing the general.
Right.
So he's the original of him.
So it's like the original actors are all seemingly in a scene with their new counterpart.
It does seem so, yes.
That's quite interesting.
Ironically, the two actors who are most supportive of the idea of a new TV movie actually didn't appear. Bill Mumy, who was the original Will Robinson, wanted to play the older Will Robinson, but the director thought it would be distracting to have the original playing the older one. I mean, maybe.
Would anybody have noticed? I don't know.
Jonathan Harris was to have played the man who hired then betrayed Dr. Smith. He was Dr. Smith in the movies. Apparently, in an interview for TV Guide prior to the film's release, it was mentioned that he bluntly stated, "I will have you know, I've never done a walk-on bit part in my life, and I do not intend to start." He announced that if he could not play his own role in the movie, he wanted nothing to do with it, famously being quoted as saying, "Either I play Dr. Smith or I do not play."
Wow.
He did return as Dr. Smith in a 1-hour TV special, Lost in Space Forever, the year this came out as well, but he sounds like a bit of a dick.
Yeah, he sounds like a bit of an Anthony Daniels.
Oh, God. Only I can play C-3PO.
I'm C-3PO, and nobody else, and everybody, and I'm fabulous, and everybody's, and Kenny Baker's fucking... Apparently they don't like each other.
And now we have the introduction of Mr. Gary Oldman.
Old Man Gary.
So, also known as Zorg.
I like this holodeck thing they've got going on.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, spoiler alert, it looks like they're on Tatooine, but they're not.
I don't know if this was meant to be the original Dr. Smith. Or, I think
he's just meant to be,
I think he's just some random dude.
Sinister head of the evil people.
The global sedition.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You wouldn't call yourselves that, would you?
No, you wouldn't.
If you wanted... If you thought that your goals were noble, you wouldn't... It's like the Decepticons. You wouldn't call yourselves Decepticons if you thought you were good. You know, if you thought that your cause was just.
I mean, I wouldn't think I'd call myself Autobots either, to be honest.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, it's a bit generic.
It's just little mouse man.
That's a bit.
I don't know. He just seemed tiny in the frame of the door. I think it's the people behind him. He looked tiny.
That's perspective.
Oh, okay.
You know, when things are further away from you.
Look at his mini Blu-rays. They're high tech.
Little mini discs.
Wish them luck from me. So yeah, Gary Oldman. We all know he's amazing. He was Stansfield and Leon. He was Zorg in The Fifth Element. He was Carnegie in The Book of Eli. He was Dracula in Dracula and Churchill in Churchill.
Yep.
He was perhaps better known as Shen in Kung Fu Panda 2.
Okay, I think I'm getting the theme you've gone for.
He also popped up in some weird wizard shit and something about a winged rodent man. I didn't get the notes down properly.
Oh, right.
Some wizardy shit. I don't know. Some shit. So who else have we still got to come here? We've got Heather Graham to pop up.
I think
and then
she's about to appear on our screens any second now.
Time for Joey to get pervy.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, she's only 12 years younger than the woman playing her mum in this, and only 12 years older than the second youngest kid. There's it's totally weird age range. So here's Heather Graham, also known as Felicity Shagwell. She came to fame in Boogie Nights the year before. She made this, then Austin Powers the next year. What a trajectory that was.
Yeah.
Fun fact, she was dating the director at the time of filming.
Okay. What, of this?
Of this, yes.
Who did direct this, actually?
Well, we'll come to that. So, the director was Emmy Award winner Stephen Hopkins. He won it for The Life and Death of Peter Sellers, which I've not seen, but apparently is great.
Never heard of it.
Before Lost in Space, he did Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child.
Of course.
Predator 2. Some episodes from Tales from the Crypt.
All right.
And then after Lost in Space, he's done a lot more directory, producery roles, more TV work, a lot of 24 and 24 Legacy, The Fugitive. He did a bit of Californication. Californication cropped up a lot, actually. So there's Heather Graham popped up in there. Various very people did. And also The Dark Tower, which was also written and produced by Akiva Goldsman.
Wait,
who is the writer of this as well.
The Dark Tower, the new one?
Yes.
Oh my God, that was bad.
So yeah, the writer, it was based on the original creator was Irwin Allen, who created the story, and then Akiva Goldsman, also who's a well-known idea stealer, best known for Batman and Robin, I, Robot, and Keanu Reeves' best work, Constantine.
I've still never seen Constantine.
Oh, don't worry about it. He's more recently performing the barrel scraping of the Star Trek franchise. Having said that, I did enjoy Fringe a bit back in the day, and Strange New Worlds is okay-ish. That's all I can really say about the writer. Oh yeah, your son is fucking building a time machine and you're dismissing it like it's a fucking hobby project. It's really weird.
Yeah.
You do know how smart your son is.
To be fair, if a young child of sort of primary to early high school age came up to me and said, I'm building a time machine. I'd be like, oh yeah, sure, yes, of course you are.
Yes, of course.
Good luck with that. And then, yeah, you would just dismiss that because kids are stupid, and why would you ever listen to children?
Well, yeah, you just imagine they're building a Lego time machine or something, wouldn't you? But then, if your kid's the smartest one in school and he keeps hacking all the computers and pissing off his headmaster, you'd think he's got a bit of skill.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a bit of a leap from hacking school computers to breaking the space-time continuum.
True.
It's a bit of a leap.
Just whilst I've got my notes up here about the old cast. So we had the original Maureen playing the principal. We had original Don playing the general. Mm-hmm. The original Penny and Judy are reporters. I think I might have missed them. I think they're either coming up or they've already been on earlier on. And I think that's all the main cast, except for Dick Tufeld, rest in peace. He was the voice of the robot, and he's also the voice in this.
Danger!
Very prolific voice actor as well, into the 80s, but not really done much since then.
He was born in 1920
something, so I think he's
the robot, and I suspect this will be the same for you. The robot is the best thing about this. Mm-hmm. The voice...
Danger, Will Robinson, danger!
The different forms that it takes.
Yeah, well, that was the one good thing about the Netflix series until it just became a humanoid robot that's just wandering around all the time. It was better when it was all kind of weird and alien-y.
Yeah. Tell you, I did like, what's her name as Dr. Smith.
Yes, well, she's fucking brilliant and everything, but then by the second season, she's just a shitty character. And she's a great actor, but just not very good in, as a...
It did kind of...
Within the story, she doesn't make sense. Oh, I love this random bit of tech that he carries. It looks so, 90s Bugs style. Do you remember Bugs? He's chipped a nail. Such an actor.
He's so effete.
So we've got through casty bits. What else have I got to go?
Yeah, you probably, if you're working for an organisation called the Global Sedition, you probably wouldn't walk around with a bit of their technology strapped to your chest. Because that's going to do a bad thing eventually.
Well, he doesn't know that yet, does he?
Well, I suppose it's like his multi-tool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like he's got his little iPhone. Well, it's his Global Sedition iPhone.
It's his tricorder.
Yes, okay, yeah, we'll go with that.
His Mirror Universe tricorder.
I love his voice in all this. It's sort of like...
He's doing... yeah.
Very...
Oh, the pain, the pain, the pain of it all.
Yeah, spare me the chatter, my steely centurion.
It is very good.
Oh, you can't see the dialogue that's coming up, so maybe
I have seen this film so many times.
It's funny, I haven't seen this film in ages, and every shot that comes up is like burned in my memory.
Yeah.
Every time it comes up, I remember it.
I mean, it gets a lot of flack, but I'm struggling to think of anything that we've seen so far that's actually that bad.
Yeah.
Like, the set design is all really very cool.
I'll tell you what I think the problem is. The problem is that I never watched the original TV series of this, so watching it, it's all fresh and new, and I'm fine.
Fair enough.
Whereas if I was a fan of the originals and I saw this, I would think it was shitting on the legacy of it. Much like when I watched the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy movie, I was like, this is nowhere near as good as the TV series or the radio.
Yes.
It's well made.
I don't think
trash.
it's as bad as that, though, really. I mean, it's essentially just the show. Like, a family goes into space, gets stranded on a planet, and has adventures.
Yeah.
It's just, that is the show, really.
Oh, yeah. Grip the red hot burning thing. And
Well, you're going to take it off.
It sticks to his hand and electrocutes him.
Yeah, that's how he gets identified. That's how he gets called out.
Fun
later.
fact, the Jupiter 1 looks like the Jupiter 2 of the TV series.
I knew that. I knew that.
Those ridiculous suits as well. Like, why don't they have helmets?
Yeah, Oh, no, they don't have helmets.
Sassy Will Robin. Can we cut back on her oxygen so she's not so annoying when she wakes up?
See, that's good. That is actual
Brother-sister
believable,
banter, yeah.
Little sibling rivalry thing going on there. It's
This,
good.
I'll tell you what, this bit bothered me as a kid, right?
Yeah.
If you're launching a fucking thing into space,
Nah.
why would you have it with a flat top and really wide as your launch vehicle rather than have it
And why wouldn't you just build it in space?
Well, yeah, exactly.
You're
build the rest of
already
it in space.
That's the thing that annoys me about a lot of depictions of like the ships in Star Trek when they're getting constructed. Like, you wouldn't build a starship on the ground.
Let me just expand on that point. You're correct. You wouldn't build one on the ground, and it was only in the fucking shitty J.J. Abrams movie that they did that. In every other bit of Star Trek history, they build their planets at Jupiter Station or whatever is it, Planitia, whatever. I can't remember the name of the places, but they build them in orbit around Mars usually.
Yeah, which makes
Utopia
a lot more
Planitia,
sense.
I think that's what it's called.
I didn't mind that first J.J. Abrams Star Trek. I thought it was fine.
The third one was all right.
The third one was very good, actually. I thought it was a big improvement.
I like the
particularly
drums
on the
and
second
shouting.
one, which was just nothing.
I like the drums and the shouting.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm going to pick this up. I feel my phone's going to buzz under the microphone. That's not great.
It was good. It was good.
God, everybody looks so young.
I know. 1998.
Oh, I know. God, well, I was pretty young back then too. I was actually Will's age.
Yeah.
I was literally the same age as that kid at the time.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Very, very relatable.
I just want to get a little bit creepy perving on you in your skin-tight suit before you go into cold storage.
Yeah, get a grip.
I do this all the time.
I mean, it's not like he's actually going to be doing, in theory anyway, that much piloting. Because it's like, just point the ship.
The monkey flips the switch.
Point the ship at where it's going to go and then go to sleep for 20 years or whatever.
The Robinsons are all tucked in, we are ready to fly. And the monkey flips the switch.
Yes. We're out. I like the freezing effect on them. I was going to say earlier that the CG effects are pretty good. Like the space battle and stuff is all pretty good. The thing that kind of grows around them there, like the technology that kind of
I quite liked it.
Clickety-clackety into places. It's a little bit janky, but
it would be.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Who's that guy? I want to know who that guy is.
I don't know. He's got a great voice.
Jupiter 1, prepare to launch.
And the monkey flips a switch. So yeah, he just pushes a button and they're going. It's mental.
It's almost as if this whole operation could be automated.
Well,
you'd think they would just send... Like, the whole point of this is they're going to this other star system to build the other end of the gate. Just send a bunch of robots to do it.
Agreed.
They've got a really good robot. Just send a bunch of them.
They've got a really good, easily hacked robot.
Yeah, see, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, I get that it's trying to be like a heat shield kind of thing for them leaving the atmosphere.
But you wouldn't need it that way.
It's silly.
Also,
and to be fair, they were launching from like the upper atmosphere, not from like ground level.
Well, yeah, ish.
So it's not that bad, but still.
There he is, having a little moan.
It's got a bit of Matt Smith kind of TARDIS look about it.
It does a bit. Did you know that before...
Sort of a blend of like the coral TARDIS, not the coral TARDIS, the chrome TARDIS and the Toyota one. You know what I mean? You see it? You see it?
Yep.
See what I see?
I see what you see. It is a bit TARDIS-y. I just remembered a fact that I don't think I actually wrote down, that when they were casting this, Matt LeBlanc wasn't the first choice. They offered it to Matthew Perry before him.
Oh, really?
And before him, other people, I think... I can't remember. More famous people, and they turned it down. But I think he does a good job in this. I really enjoy it.
He's fine. I mean,
he's just Joey, isn't he?
He is just Joey. He's just Joey in everything that he's in. Bless him. I think Matthew Perry would have done a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Could I be any more in space? Uh-oh.
Smith's waking up with a burnt hand. He's not going to be happy.
SpaghettiOs. That would really hurt.
If it like seared onto you.
Ooh, that's like...
Oh, that's going to smell.
It's like Raiders of the Lost Ark style.
You didn't want to be in space with them, did you, Dr. Smith?
Oh, no.
Open the window to just confirm what you already know.
Shit. I mean, in theory, if Dr. Smith's plan succeeds and they crash the ship into the sun or whatever the plan is, then they're just going to launch the mission again, but do it more sensibly with robots. Because they'll be like, oh, well, we still definitely need to do this thing to save the planet.
I get the impression that this is like a last-ditch, final big-budget attempt, though. Do you know what I mean? I feel like this is their last hope of survival.
I mean, if this is their last hope,
look at the robot.
It's beautiful. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing.
I think
doesn't really look like the original robot at all.
No,
but it does later on, so that's fine. Alarm bleeping! Warp, warp. Also, we're saying it's a cool robot. It doesn't really do a very good job at killing these people, does it?
No. You'd think it would just go up to the pods and just blow them up straight away.
You'd think it would just go to the reactor and just... or whatever it is that's powering this thing and blow it up.
Yeah, punch it. That'll make it escape faster.
He's under a lot of stress, you know?
He's gone to hide. Are we there yet? Yeah, they've been in stasis for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. That would be very disorienting, though.
Voice-activated guns, that crops up later. Bit of a Chekhov's gun there.
Indeed.
With the
a bit of a sort of lawgiver kind of thing, you know, the Judge Dredd gun. Get him! That's it. Joey fucking rugby tackle a giant robot. That's what to do. I mean, it worked, didn't it? It's just getting flung around.
He's doing a... What
you would not stick your hand in there.
No.
I don't... You would get a gun or something and shoot in that gap, but I'm not sticking my hand in there. The robot could just, close its head on the thing and your hand's chopped off. You know?
Yeah, oh god, that central console was a bit bouncy, wasn't it? They didn't even attach it to the deck.
He's a bit bouncy. It's a bit tenderised.
Fun fact, I've got a little bit of an early interesting or not interesting for you.
Oh, okay.
Interesting or not interesting?
You're not doing the noise. Okay.
Interesting or not interesting?
Yes!
The first robot in this movie, this robot here,
Uh-huh.
weighed 2 tons
Uh-huh.
and required 8 people to control it. Is that interesting or is it not interesting?
I would say that's interesting.
You are correct. Ding! It is interesting because nowadays it would just be shit CGI.
Yeah.
Or a man in a suit.
Yeah.
More likely shitty CGI.
I don't know, actually. I feel like if they made it like a couple of years ago, it probably would have been like full CGI. I feel like people are kind of coming back around to practical effects.
Well, yeah, as
days.
shown in the TV series of this as well, it was very much a man in a suit for a lot of it. I do wonder why those seats are quite so moving like that. Like, just turn off gravity and just jump around. I mean, like,
jump up and get down.
Yeah,
jump
true.
around.
Although, actually, having said that, if you have got 0G, fire would be a lot more dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got the option to work in gravity, then you take that option because you don't want to be floating around, especially when there's like smoke and sparks and blood and fire. And...
Yeah, well, no, yeah, like I say, fire is the most dangerous thing in 0G. You're fucked, really.
Yeah. I know, I've seen Event Horizon. I know.
I was here to do some last-minute checks.
Oh, that's
technology.
That's a birthmark. Actually, I will thank you to be a bit more respectful. Kill him.
Gary Oldman's quite famous for playing spies, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he was in that spy movie.
Bit of a tinker, isn't
Yep. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. I think that was the theme music for it.
Yeah. Yep.
Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. He's a wonderful spy guy. I think that was how it went. Oh no! It's, whatever Heather Graham's character is.
Penny.
No, she's not Penny.
No, Judy.
Judy, that's the one.
Oh yeah, she's stuck. You gotta save Judy! But we're somehow heading towards the sun in the opposite direction to our original course. Maybe they have been in here for more than sort of 5 minutes, because it takes 8 minutes for light to get to
Well,
the
I
sun.
think did the robot not say it was like 15 hours into mission?
Oh, okay, yes, okay.
Exterminate,
Do you reckon
etc.
they'd be that close to the sun in 15 hours? That's a pretty fast ship.
Well, I mean, it's the future ship, isn't it?
Yeah, but they're not going at hyperdrive speed.
It's probably got some super thing. You know, it was... Well, looks like we've hit our first lull of the thing.
Yes. Maybe we should just get into the interesting or not interesting.
It's up to you. It's your show.
Oh, that's quite a bold statement. Right, okay, you ready for this?
I'm just born ready, baby.
Interesting or not interesting?
Let's do it.
Despite opening in theatres on April the 3rd, this is the first new film of 1998 to open at number 1 at the box office.
Nice.
It knocked Titanic off the hotspot after it had been there for 15 weeks.
Take that,
For
Cameron.
a short time, the movie was nicknamed The Iceberg. Is that interesting or not interesting?
I think that's very interesting.
I think it is. Ding! The better film won out. God, you're good at this. Damn. Ah, dear me. Well, just two for two so far.
I mean, this was never actually intended to be a competition, but I like that it's turned into that.
Well, here we go then. So, question 2.
Let's go.
Or question 3, depending on the order we wanted it. Apparently, all the principal actors were contracted for a 3-picture option. The film failed to recoup its budget in North America, so plans for a new franchise were scrapped. Is that interesting or not interesting?
That's not that interesting.
Yeah, it's not interesting at all. That's pretty standard stuff.
I mean, this was never getting a sequel.
Oh, well, it was set up for one pretty well at the end.
Well, yes and no. I kind of like the fact that it just ends with them going off on more adventures, and we never really see those adventures. I kind of like that.
Well, they kind of had the restaurant's at the other end of the universe kind of ending, wasn't it?
A little bit.
Spoilers.
A little bit.
Right.
I quite liked that. No, what am I talking about? I didn't like that at all. That was
He's trying
that
so
was my
hard
least
not to
favourite bit of that Hitchhiker's movie, was that bit at the end. I was pretty much okay with it right up until that point. And I was like, that just doesn't make... In terms of reality and even the fictional reality that the story is set in doesn't make any sense. You sillies.
Yes, I
Anyway.
completely agree. God,
Ooh,
it looks
that's
like they actually had an actual shaky set for this, like they did for
they've
Galaxy Quest.
They've Star Trek'd it. Or Galaxy Quested it.
Galaxy Quested it, yeah. Because they actually had a funny moving set on that.
Same thing.
Well, while Matt LeBlanc's up on the screen, we've got interesting or not interesting. Next part.
Ah,
I can't do the siren as well as you. I think you're going to have to start doing the little klaxon.
No.
So Matt LeBlanc apparently filmed his role while Friends was still shooting. And he had to fly back and forth between sets several times a week in order to do both projects at the same time. Gary Oldman also guest starred in a couple of episodes of Friends with LeBlanc, but the director Stephen Hopkins had never actually seen a single episode of Friends before. So is any of that interesting or not interesting?
It's not that interesting. I kind of clocked out during that, to be honest.
I'm afraid that was interesting.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know Matt LeBlanc could fly.
That's fair enough.
That's pretty impressive.
That's
He was
a good
flying
skill
back and
to
forth.
have. Yeah.
So yeah, you've lost the point there. I'm very upset with you. Non-ding.
No, see, now, correction. The ding and the are not related to whether or not you guess correctly. The ding is for interesting and the is for not interesting.
Sorry, I thought this was my show.
Well, if you're gonna steal my bit, then at least do it properly.
Okay,
what I'm saying.
I've got my own bit for later as well.
fine.
So
That's fine.
I'm not a complete.
I
scene
just
stealing
thought I should clarify that because I don't think it was probably all that clear.
Well,
I
in
mean,
that
the
case-
bit was probably not that clear anyway.
I will say you are wrong. Ding! It is interesting. I didn't know Matt LeBlanc could fly.
There we go.
There we go.
Now I'm happy. I like all this freezy and it looks a bit.
It was
janky,
bullet time
but...
a year or two before The Matrix.
Yeah, well, I mean, bullet time was a thing. It was around before The Matrix. I think it first cropped up in like a Nike advert or something like that.
And it's been in a couple of music videos as well, I think, around the same time.
That's good. I like that they captured some of the
atmosphere
of the sun.
Oh yeah, he
That's
just flew through
pretty
the sun.
good.
We didn't comment on that as it was happening, but
Well, what's there to say? He flew through the sun. It was a bold move, and it paid off.
oh my next interesting or not interesting thing actually relates to what I was mentioning briefly earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll kind of know you kind of know some of this, but
Okay.
so although Ken Branagh and Tim Robbins were interested in playing the part of Dr. Smith before Gary Oldman signed on.
Oh, Kenneth Branagh would have knocked out of the park.
Gary Oldman was the first member of the cast to sign on, jumping at the chance to appear in a family film. Is that interesting or not interesting?
I would say that's interesting. I like to hear about alternate casting.
I'm sorry,
choices.
no, that was not interesting. That's just how casting works.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
Yeah. So
Kill him! Kill him! Kill him! Kill him! Kill him in front of your children!
yes,
Do it!
murder him most viciously.
Don't strangle him even. Just get one of those glass jars and just smash his head in.
Just stick a plastic bag over his head.
Make it as brutal as possible.
God.
Also, why if he's going to kill the
had some
guy...
angry face.
She
there.
did.
You see that?
She did. That
was some real Heather Graham acting.
That was
there.
some I'm judging you attitude right there. But why didn't she just take the children away from the violent, almost murder situation?
You would think,
You
that
know,
would be
take
common
them.
sense,
Just
but-
take them to another room whilst Dad and the Doctor try and kill each other. You know. What I'm saying is they all share responsibility there. Now, say what you like about Matt LeBlanc hitting on Heather Graham's character. When it's business time, and not that kind of business time, you filthy bugger. When he has to do his job.
I just want to say, I did not make that filthy, and you are now creating the cavalcade of filth yourself.
I mean, it was always going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's like when he needs to do his job, he knuckles down and he does his job. And then
her hair
every
looks
so often,
so greasy in this. It's so unfair for her. She looks like she just stuck her head in a bottle of grease.
well, I mean,
they're all a bit roughed up.
Yeah,
but in her in particular.
they're not having a good time, are they? I mean, I would be having a great time personally. Be like, whoa, this is
I always
cool.
like this shot of them cutting them out the suits. It's quite shows quite how fancy and high tech they are. When obviously they're just rubber in real life.
Yeah,
You can imagine them being really high tech, nano suits and things.
like there's some
I mean, it probably saved his life because it conducted all the electricity away, didn't it? It's like a
Well,
Faraday
most
cage.
of it. He's still got a bit frazzled.
Do you remember what the battle scar's from?
It's a tattoo that he got removed.
Yeah.
How could I forget about that?
I know. But I had it removed.
But I mean, that seems cheesy, but that is actually quite a nice little bit of characterization because he's a blowhard. And he likes everybody to think that he's this big tough soldier guy. Mm-hmm. But deep down, he's just a softie. And he's being all sleazy with women and stuff. And I think that's all a front. I think he's actually, deep down, quite a sweet and understanding and compassionate man. And we should just give him another chance, okay?
Okay, yeah.
But then, I mean, there is the bit later on where he's like, we're literally the only two consenting adults in known space, so
let's have a really awkward flirty scene while we make up some constellations, yeah?
Yeah, let's just get down to business here, you know?
So we haven't had anything too egregious yet, but we'll get there.
Here he is.
Come on, Will, do your buildy shit.
Where did he get that thing from?
He probably built it out of other bits and bobs. You can tell they've done this scene a million times. Look at all the handprints all over that plastic.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to give that a wipe down. But then I suppose he would have been handling it to put it together. I'm just curious as to where he got the glass dome thing from.
Waves, belly, kissing. I remember all the awful vlogs she used to do and does.
She was ahead of her time in many ways.
Oh yeah,
she was the original YouTuber.
The original, yeah, yeah.
There weren't no YouTubers.
I was going to say VTuber, but she's actually using a real face, so she's not a VTuber, is she?
No.
Video vlogger.
Like all the costume design and the set design.
Yeah, it's quite nice.
It's all really cool. It looks like stuff, you know. It would
nice multimeter.
Even
That's just a painted multimeter.
Even in the future, they need multimeters, you know.
Well, that's definitely really oval. It's not even got any wires plugged into it.
It's a remote multimeter.
Oh, it's a wireless one.
Yeah,
a wireless multimeter.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Or it'll be like Dr. Smith's thing that you used earlier. It's not wireless, but you just like touch it to the thing and it interacts with it, you know?
Now, I've got a few more interesting or not interesting to do, but I think I'm going to wait until a little later on once they're more relevant to the plot.
Okay. Oh, somebody's farted.
That was me, sorry.
It's a big fart bubble.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know. Maybe
wibbly wobbly timey wimey.
Maybe we'll find out in the plot of the movie.
It's some sort of hole in space.
You don't know that.
Does Judy know that she's like shoving her bum right in Don's face right there?
I think maybe she does. Because she gave him a little. He was being obnoxious earlier, and she gave him a little look as he was leaving the room, like, "Oh, you're awful, but I'm starting to like you." Because that was very much a thing in the 90s and early 2000s, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, well it's the stereotype of the I hate you and then I love you.
Yeah,
romantic arc.
just awful.
Remember the name of the ship?
The Pegasus?
The Proteus.
The Proteus, okay.
And I just hate the way they say it because they pronounce the T like a D. The Proteus.
Proteus.
Proteus? Oh, good lordy, lordy, lordy.
Another interesting thing about this that we'll see very soon is the proto Iron Man armor that Matt LeBlanc kind of wears.
Well,
and it's like even because the Iron Man armor these days is like clickety clackety, horrible CG.
No, nowadays it's just like it's nanoparticles.
Yeah, but like in iterations before that, it would like in Civil War, it's kind of got the thing that kind of like a transformer.
Like the Anubis warriors of Stargate.
Yes.
Or what they call the Anubis guards or whatever they are.
We're
not talking
Anubis. Nupsis.
I really want to know why the spotlights are all so janky and movie. Are they like on an automatic, just random movement, or are people actually aiming them badly?
They're probably I don't know, probably programmed just to like search for interesting things.
Did you miss that line there? He was like, "If this is a dream, I thought they'd be more girls." Penny Vision.
Yeah.
Is she broadcasting this somewhere? Or is this just for her
No,
own
she's just
entertainment?
recording it. I think she's just
recording.
I
it
don't know.
for
Maybe
her own
she's
archives.
broadcasting it.
Oh, and now we get the young kid perving on the old man. Although it's quite playful, it is quite innocent.
I mean, yeah, it's not. I was kind of worried that they would play this bit a bit more sleazily, but it's. But
I think he's quite aware that she's a girl, and he's just being a sort of smoother older man. He's trying to be smooth, and for Joey, he's doing quite well.
He's still not great though, you know.
I like Will Robinson's little line here.
Oh yeah.
Breathe, Penny, breathe.
Yeah.
Dear. Oh, well, here we go. We have our next interesting or not interesting fact.
Let's go!
In a moment, Major West is going to toss Dr. Smith a spacesuit and tell him to come along. Do you recall what Dr. Smith's excuse is?
Allergies or something?
No, we'll see when he says it, and then we'll see if you can figure out what this is in reference to. He says, "I'm a doctor, not a space explorer."
Oh, that's a Scotty thing.
Okay, try that again, please, before I hit you.
I am sorry, Bones.
Yes, indeedy.
Settle down, Jesus.
Dear me, young man. So he says, "I'm a doctor, not a space explorer," in reference to McCoy saying, "I'm a doctor, not a bricklayer." Is that interesting or not interesting?
I personally would say that's not interesting because who gives a fuck? But I know that you're a big Star Trek head, so you've probably said that that's interesting.
I'm afraid I have also said that is not interesting because it's common nerd knowledge, and I'd be surprised if they didn't use that joke.
Okay, well, yeah, fair enough.
Just trick your dad with an evil robot when it's not actually evil.
Yeah, that could have gone
horribly wrong. You could have just died there, kid. Chill, Dad, it's okay. I'm a super hacker. I hacked into his CPU and bypassed his main OS.
I'm a clever genius boy. Appreciate me. Appreciate me and my orange gilet.
Oh my god. It's actually terrifying. I did look a lot like that with the big buggerlugs.
Have we talked about the kid and what he's been in?
Yeah. Very little. I'll reiterate.
Is he not in Malcolm in the Middle? He looks like one of the kids from Malcolm in the Middle.
He's not, from what I understand. He's Jack Johnson. He, like I say, he started as Toodles in Jeeves and Wooster. He did a few movies, an episode of ER, and then apparently giving up acting. But all his credits now are like editing and cinematography. Yeah.
Oh, look, they do have helmets.
They do. They probably should have put them on sooner.
Very weirdly shaped helmets, but.
I don't know. I think it's not bad because it means you can look down.
Yeah, you've not really got much peripheral vision, though.
No. I quite like the camera view from the robot.
Yeah. I just love that robot so much. I just remember after I saw this in the cinema, I came home and spent about a month just building little Lego robots.
Stale air, with the smell of ghosts.
With all the articulation and bendy, twisty bits that you could ever possibly want.
That's cool.
It was a good fun time.
Oh, she's working alright, just too damn fast. Everything's like super modern.
Yeah. That's quite a neat little clue, that actually.
Getting a clue to the wibbly wobbly nature of reality.
Yeah. Because it could quite easily just be like a throwaway, meaningless line, like, "Oh, Matt LeBlanc's a bit of an idiot. He doesn't." I keep saying Matt LeBlanc. You know what I mean?
Joey,
yeah. He's a bit dense. He doesn't really know computers and stuff. But no, it's a nice little bit of foreshadowing. I mean, this whole thing is just foreshadowing, isn't it?
just whilst I'm thinking of the robot here, you were saying earlier on where did he get that bit from? And obviously the bit with the three things was from the original robot, from the robot B9 in the TV series. Where is it in this? Where is that spinning the glass domey thing? Is it inside and we don't see it?
It's on the ship. It's not part of this version of the robot.
Oh, of course.
Will started to build his own robot.
Oh, I loved that laser scanner thing when I was younger. I thought that was such a cool concept.
Yeah.
Like LiDAR, sort of like, what's it called? Spectral analysis.
Yeah. Let's move out.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, I can't fault the set design and the costumes and stuff. It is a very nicely
Although this
movie.
set does look like it was reused from Event Horizon.
Oh, yeah?
Because the ship in that is like a big, long ship with a big... It's like the command deck and then a big, long thing and then like the reactor thing at the back. Much like how this is designed.
I've not seen that film in a while.
It's fine, I think. It's all right. It's an interesting little twist on the sci-fi and horror genres, and it has Sam Neill in it, which is
a bonus.
Yeah.
Oh, more robots.
And it has fairly accurate depictions of what would happen to a human if they went into space without a spacesuit.
Oh, nice.
Even to the point where, like, somebody gets ejected out into space and the person that's with them is like, don't hold your breath, get as much air out of your lungs as possible. It was like, yeah, that's some attention to detail.
And your eyes and tongue will start to fizz. Beware.
Yeah, you're probably going to go blind, and deaf, but, you know, you'll be alive, sort of.
Yeah.
You're going to need one hell of a skincare regimen afterwards.
Crikey, yeah. I think SPF 500 won't be quite enough if you're exposed out of space.
Yeah.
Oops. That always made me chuckle as well, hearing him oops, and then the robot goes, sorry.
Yeah.
No sign of the Jupiter 2.
So they sent this expedition out to look for the Jupiter 2, right? When they could have just sent this ship off to do the mission that Jupiter 2 was doing.
Correct.
You know? And I mean, like, you want to find the lost family, you know. You don't want to write them off, but at the same time, their ship went into hyperdrive pointing directly at a star and flew directly into the star. You probably just assume that they're dead and just move on with your life.
Well, maybe they just weren't tracking them. Maybe they didn't see them do that.
Maybe they would have been tracking them.
Maybe Dr. Smith fucked with the system so that they, believed everything was fine all the way.
Well, maybe, but then how do they know that they're missing at all then?
Well, because they didn't... 10 years later, they never received the launch from the thingy.
Okay.
What have you've clearly just putting something in your pocket. What did you just put in your pocket? Give it back. Are you stupid, Don? Sorry, Joey. Joey's stupid. Oh,
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that, because you see, Dr. Smith took a little control module from like the future version of the robot.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed that we didn't get to see like a fight between those two versions of those robots. I think that would have been fun and cool.
Indeed. Oh, you know what we're coming up to now, then?
Oh, it's little big eye monkey chameleon.
Indeed. On that note, I think it is time for question 1 of the Lost in Space quiz.
Hurrah, quiz!
Ring-a-ding-ding-ding-ding. I don't have a noise for it. What's a noise for the quiz? Do-do-do-do-do-do.
I feel like that might have been used for something else.
Well, in a moment we're going to see Blarp. Here's Blarp.
Blarp.
Now, Blarp is clearly CGI.
Yeah.
And,
really? Wait, hang on. No, I don't believe that.
And here the question is...
Are you telling me they didn't genetically engineer this creature?
I'm afraid not, no. It was surprising to me too. But the question is, why was Blarp made using CGI? Was it A, CGI was just cheaper? Was it B, the animatronic they tried to use didn't look real enough?
Uh-huh.
Was it C, they used unlicensed Henson Company tech and had to make it CGI to prevent litigation?
Ooh.
Or was it D, Matt LeBlanc is scared of puppets after an unfortunate incident with a Tickle Me Elmo, age 12?
I mean, it could be any of those.
Well, that's the point of a multiple choice question. You've got to guess. Is it because it was cheaper? Because the animatronic looked shit?
I think it's...
Was it to prevent litigation from using stolen tech? Or was it Matt LeBlanc's fear of
I'm going to
Elmo?
go with the animatronic thing, because that happens quite a lot. I know that happened in the Twilight movies. They had an animatronic baby.
Oh dear.
And then it just looked like something out of fucking Chucky or something like that. And then they had to CGI over it.
Well,
bad movies. They're terrible movies.
So
Don't ever watch them. So yeah, I'll say it was the animatronic thing.
You are correct.
Yes,
you get a point. Well done.
Get in.
So that's point one.
Yes. Right, I'm keeping score.
Okay, well, I mean,
score.
this is a mini quiz, so
Okay.
there's only 5 little questions here.
That's
I just
fine.
thought I'd spread them out as they become relevant, and we can see how you get on.
Okay.
Blarp.
Now, I don't know if we've seen it yet, but there was another cool little attention to detail thing. And I think this is maybe what's clued me into it being an animatronic originally, is when Blarp kind of touches Don's cheek, and you see like the
sucker moving.
the impression on his skin. So I'm wondering if that's like the actual physical animatronic like touching his face, and then they've kind of CG'd over it.
I don't know if he would let an animatronic touch me. He's afraid to tickle me Elmo.
No, he's not.
Oh,
We
no, he's not.
established
No, he's not.
that
Yeah,
wasn't
no.
the
Sorry,
thing.
no, yeah, I made that up.
God. You can't get by me with your twisty ways.
There's a blah blah she said somewhere. Would you like another little fun quiz question?
I will take any quiz questions you got.
Okay. Well, whilst we're on the topic of CGI...
One thing, before you go on, I just have to say that quite clearly, I was joking before about, they didn't actually genetically engineer Blarp.
Yeah.
Clearly that creature has been genetically engineered.
Yes. It's probably... I don't think it's an alien, is it? I mean, well, maybe it is. Maybe they're all aliens and they've just found them on the planet.
Well, I don't think so.
Aliens,
I don't
aren't they?
because look, it's got basically like a perfect array of sensory organs. Like its eyes are big and its ears are big, so it can see a lot and hear a lot. It's got 4 nostrils, so presumably it's very good at smelling. It's got, there's no real kind of downside.
Are you suggesting
there.
it's an apex predator?
No, I'm suggesting that somebody has genetically engineered.
To what end?
I don't know, for fun, maybe? I don't know.
Fair enough.
Maybe that's just what people do for fun in this future universe. It's just genetically engineer monsters.
Fun fact, all the blood from the spiders is blue.
Yeah.
And spider blood is also blue.
Ew.
In real life. Apparently. Found that
Is
on a
that-
random
is
Lost
that-
in Space fact thing.
But
But
I mean,
whilst-
human blood is blue as well, isn't it? Or is that
No.
a myth?
It's a myth.
Okay.
It looks a bit blue through your veins, but that's just when it's slightly deoxygenated. But
Right.
blood is 99% red. Hemoglobin.
That's
iron,
cool.
Yeah,
I
that is
like
really cool.
that.
Very, very child-tron.
Forget-
Okay, one more time.
Forget
one
your
more time.
fucking VR bullshit. Give me some of this nonsense.
Now-
Look at that.
There's been quite a lot of special effects shots so far, right?
Yeah.
My second quiz question for you. Are
Uh-huh.
you ready? Doodly-doo-doo-doo.
Is it going to be how many effects shots are there in this
Well,
movie?
sort of.
Okay.
Which model of Boeing aircraft
Oh, fucking
correctly represents the number of effects shots featured throughout this film? Is it A, the Boeing 747? Is it B, the Boeing 757? Is it C, the Boeing 767? Or is it D, the Boeing 777?
I'm going to say it's the 777.
You are wrong. It is the Boeing 767. There were 767 effects shots. But as soon as I found out those are the numbers, It obviously had to be Boeing aircraft.
Well, fair enough.
It made you chuckle. I got my chuckle.
That was good.
So you got that. 1 out of 2 so far.
1 out of 2. 50%. That's straight down the middle.
Well, we've still got a few more. Oh, have we missed him put his helmet on? Or is he about
No, he's about to do that.
Okay, yeah, cool. We want to see the
clicky-clacky helmet. It's a
clack.
cool-looking helmet as well. I wonder... I think it might be a little nod to the original series, because it kind of I think it sort of looks like...
Oh, I love this tool-up sequence where he's building his gun. This was such a cool nerdy thing back in the day.
Yeah.
It's very much like a hip-hop montage tool-up sequence sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's like... Yeah, there we go.
See, that's pretty damn good.
It's pretty damn good for the time, yeah. It holds up.
And I mean, you look at like the nanotech helmet that Tony Stark has in like Infinity War, and it just looks like shit. It just looks like this.
It's not as bad
indistinct, blurry mass
at
just
least it's
forming
not as
over
bad
his head.
As the floating heads in Civil War when he and Rhodey are standing there, it's just like heads flopping around.
That was pretty bad.
It was pretty.
Also, another thing is like with Blarp is he's got like the camouflage thing as well. He's just got like this perfect array of like sensory.
Do you think they've just taken
defensive...
every Earth animal and like blended them all together or something?
Yeah, kinda. I mean, I don't know to what end. Maybe they were trying to make something that could like grow up to fight these spider monsters at some point or something,
or detect them or something.
But yes, yeah. That's my little theory.
Yeah, because we don't ever see a planet where Blarp could have come from.
No, and I mean it's kind of implied. It's kind of implied that it comes from the hydroponics thing, but then there aren't really any other animals unless all the other animals have been eaten, I suppose.
Just to add to the cavalcade of filth, I just want to point out you just got sprayed in the face there.
Yeah, very good. I mean, it was spider blood, but you know, that's horrifying.
It really is. It's so fucking bad. Run away!
Just close the door and leave them behind. Fuck them.
Also,
it's not worth it.
Can we discuss the fact that throughout this they refer to them as spiders, but they have 6 legs on 3 separate appendages? So they are no way spiders.
They
have a single body piece and 6 legs connected from 3 points.
They're spider-like enough, I think. In a stressful situation like this, you're not going to... Somebody refers to them as spiders. You're not going to stop and be... Well, actually, they've got 6 legs on 3... Oh, no, wait. My pedantry has led to my death. Oh, no.
I mean, I would just call them bugs.
I have been hoisted by my own...
They just think, oh, here we go. Scritchy, scratchy.
Owie. Like, you would tell... someone that had happened, right?
No, like Dr. even Smith, if you're an evil loon ball, you don't.
But even if you were an evil loon ball, you
wouldn't want to be bleeding out your back. I suppose.
You'd be like, listen, I've just been scratched by one of these spiders.
Oh, and the robot's down.
No, that was actually very sad.
It was, but you did good, kid.
And I like that Penny actually genuinely tries to comfort him.
Yeah, she's not a bad sister. She's just
no. They have a very realistic sibling relationship.
I have to agree. Yeah.
And I like the bit where
they have begrudging respect for each other's abilities.
I think it was just there, the bit where she asks what he's doing, and he just goes, shh.
Yeah.
just shush. I'm busy. Shut up.
Oh, she freaks out at that and then is best friends with him a minute later.
Yeah. They learn to love each other.
They do. So whilst we have a little quiet moment here, would you like another quiz question?
Go on then.
A ring-a-ding-ding.
Ring-a-ding-ding, I'm going to ask a thing.
Right.
You're going to ask a thing.
Which incredibly horny film series featured 2 cast members from Lost in Space?
Well, it's going to be... give me the options. I know what the answer is, but give me the options.
This isn't a multiple choice.
Oh, it's not.
But you have to name the characters, the actors in the films.
Oh, for God's sake. What, all of them?
There's only... Well, there's not that many.
Well, I think it's going to be Austin Powers.
Correct.
Because what else could it be?
Who are they? And can you name the characters?
Well, Heather Graham, as we mentioned earlier, was Felicity Shagwell.
Yep.
The mum was in it. She was Austin Powers' partner in the 60s.
Correct.
Like, crime-fighting partner. And the mum of...
Vanessa.
Yes. Yeah.
You are correct. Ding, you get a point.
Excellent.
I'll give you a couple of bonus points for that.
So how many points do I have?
Some.
Okay. I'm going to say I have...
I think you have, hang on, 1, 2, and a bonus point.
3 points.
You got 3 points out of a potential 4 so far.
Okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Oh, they're going to cook him, aren't they?
Yeah, this is a bit of a stupid little rivalry thing that these two have going on for a hot minute.
And just because he hates spiders, they're not spiders, Don. They're not spiders.
Yeah, I think again, they're spider-like enough that you would do this, wouldn't you? I mean, I would do this if I found an infestation of spiders like
just
that
blow up your
in
house.
my home. I would be burning my home down. You know,
I think if you found spiders like that, yeah, you probably would.
or like even just like a net. Like if I
melting
opened up a
holes
cupboard,
through metal, I
if
think.
I opened up a cupboard and I saw a fresh spider's nest in there, first I would shit my pants, then I would scream, and then I would find the nearest source of fire and set to, you know?
Fair play.
But if Daddy, what's his name? Daddy Robinson was there, he'd be like, "Oh no, don't do that. You're going to do a dangerous thing." Well, the situation's already incredibly dangerous. And they'd already gotten all the information they need off of the ship, so they didn't really need it anymore, so shut up.
Yeah, fair play. Great model shots.
Yeah, I like the look of this planet. It's very
all brilliant.
good.
Very Star Trek
It's a
Generations
lot more...
crash. Very Star Trek Generations in that crash.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, a lot less flying around, though, with the... Because you see that crash in Generations, they go flying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even more so than they would in a similar scene in an actual episode of the Next Generation.
Speaking of that crash in Generations,
in
the most recent series of Star Trek Picard, they've established what happened to the saucer section.
Oh, really?
And Kirk's body after they were abandoned on the planet. And they were brought back to a station, and Geordi rebuilt the Enterprise so they could cut around in it in the last episode of Picard.
Of course he did. Of course, just Geordi, just as on his own, just as a... I mean, I presume he had a team or something. But...
Yeah, he's in charge of the Star Trek Starfleet Museum now.
Why would you bother rebuilding it?
For nostalgia and for the member berries, and so that Captain Picard can come on the set and say, "I know what it is I've missed all these years. The carpet!"
I suppose that is a very Star Trek thing, isn't it? Just to keep rebuilding the Enterprise.
Yeah.
Just over and over again.
Not only that, they decommission the Enterprise F after it appears very briefly, and then rename the Titan as the Enterprise G.
Okay.
So that was all a bit up in the air, but we've now got up to G in terms of Enterprises.
Well, interestingly, I think... Is there not like an episode of Enterprise?
With the Enterprise J, yes.
Yeah. With the time... police or whatever they're called.
The
Time
temporal Cold War agents.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It was a good series. I like the Enterprise. I didn't ever watch it up to the end.
I like that him doing this. He was just picking a bit of dust out of the fins at the top and giving it a blow before he put it back in.
He blows and he does the blowing into the cartridge thing. You know, you don't do that. It's a bad idea.
You do. It always works. Even though you shouldn't, it always works.
It doesn't always.
It usually does.
And if you just get like an air blower thing, don't use your mouth air. That's horrid.
Which air would you rather he have used to blow on it?
Like, just get a little air blowery thing.
Oh, I thought you were meaning something farty.
Well, I wouldn't recommend doing that either.
I don't think that's going to help decontaminate.
You're not going to get the directional pressure.
I mean, it specifically says that on the back of all the NES cartridges. Don't fart in your NES cartridge.
It is good advice.
Right, well, while they're having a little dick measuring contest,
Uh-huh.
Next question for you. Ding-a-ling-ding-ding.
Ooh, we were still in space, so I was in command, but you...
Yeah.
I mean, he's right.
To be fair, like, not a bad bit of acting from Matt LeBlanc on the whole, compared to what he normally does.
Yeah.
Like, it's fair play.
Yeah, true.
Slug it out. Yeah, well, actually, she actually mentions him having a dick measuring contest, doesn't she?
Yeah, or like hosing the decks down with
testosterone. Yeah,
yeah.
pissing contest. There you go.
Yeah. all that stuff. I mean...
Anyway.
Yeah, quiz me.
Question number 4.
Ring-a-ding-ding.
Which...
You're going to ask a thing.
This is not a multiple choice one.
Okay.
Just another one here. Which 2 stars of this film have independently been involved with Call of Duty games? Because I know you can figure one of them out pretty easily, but I did not know the second one, and I think it might surprise you.
I'm pretty sure Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman, yes. He was Victor Reznov in a couple of Black Ops games. But who is the second?
Oh, my.
I will give you 5 bonus points if you get the character's name as well.
I'm not going to get that. No way. I'm torn between Matt LeBlanc and what's his name? Daddy Robinson.
Yes.
What's his name? William Hurt. I think I'm going to have to go with William Hurt, though.
I'm afraid... The correct answer was Gary Oldman, which you got 1 of, so I'll give you 1 point.
Uh-huh.
And Heather Graham.
Oh, really?
Playing Jessica in Black Ops 2, whatever that character is. But I was very surprised to see her crop up. I was looking through IMDb and I was like, did not expect her to be in that. So there we go.
There you go. That's an interesting little fact.
That was quite interesting, but it wasn't an interesting or not interesting. It just happened to be.
Yeah.
So you get 1 point for that.
So I've got 4 out of a potential 5. 6 points.
Yes, so far. You have 1 more question, a multiple choice.
Okay.
And this will be another thrilling one for you.
Are you saving it, or...?
I can go for it right now.
Well, it's up to you. So
it's not relevant to what's... It's not time constrained by what's happening on the screen. So,
okay.
Although released 33 years apart... Mm-hmm. How many years after the setting of the original 1965 TV series does this movie take place? You get a bonus point for telling me when the original movie was set.
The original movie was set in 19... No, wait. Do you mean when the movie was made or when it was
I'll repeat
set?
the question. Although released 33 years apart... How many years after the setting of the original 1965 TV series does this movie take place? Bonus point for telling me when the original movie was set, or the original series was set.
Right. I want to say the original series was set in like 2002 or something like that.
Okay, is that your answer for when it was set?
I mean, I don't know.
Continue. So that's your guess.
And I'm sure
we've seen when this one was set.
I didn't see it and I can't remember, so that's the thing. I think it's like 2075 or something like that.
So what's your guess between the difference of when it was originally set and when this one was set?
I don't know. You do the sums with those 2 numbers that I said.
Well, I will say you're wrong on both counts.
Okay.
So the original was set in 1997. Although actually, I can give you multiple choice. I can give you multiple choice here. So,
well, you've kind of...
No, I haven't really.
Okay.
Because you still don't know when this movie's set.
Fair enough.
So your choices are A, 31 years.
Right.
B, 41 years.
Mm-hmm.
C, 51 years.
Mm-hmm.
Or D, 61 years.
It's probably 61 years.
And what's your working on that? So what does that mean? When does that mean this film was set, if I've told you that the original was in 97?
Well, 97 plus 61 years. Don't make me do mental arithmetic.
I'll just say, ding, you are correct.
Okay.
It was 61 years. So the original was set in 1997, and this was set in 2058. So this was the original series was set a year before this movie came out.
That's quite interesting.
It's not, that's not an interesting fact, but it is.
Well, I thought that was an interesting fact.
I nearly put that as an interesting or not interesting, but I thought...
I feel like there's a lot of crossover between interesting and not interesting in this little quiz.
Well, facts are interesting.
That's true. Trivia. Everybody loves trivia.
You did pretty well there. I think you got like 1 point for that one, so you got 5 out of 7 or something.
That's pretty
That's
good.
pretty damn good.
I shall never, ever let it be said that I do not have a passing knowledge of this movie. I have a good working
Oh, I quite
knowledge.
like this little band. I'll go run and get you a gun, okay? Sassy.
It's a bit sassy. A whole lot of sass.
It's actually crazy how young Gary Oldman looks here. Because, I mean, it's such an unfortunate
I mean, he's an old man.
I mean, he's been called old man all his life.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look that old there.
Old enough, I guess.
Indeed. Oh, is this the
Oh,
old...
this is... Well, I mean, it starts
We'll see.
off... It starts off quite nice. They're having quite a nice little bonding moment about, using the stars to navigate and find your way home, etc.
And then he tries to get his end
And
away.
then he tries to get in her pants, and it's just like, you are such an incel. It's unbelievable.
Oh, we don't think so.
No, it's not that bad, but
I mean, he probably would end up that way if she didn't fuck him in the end.
I think he's just really, really high on himself, and just has a bit of difficulty looking past that sometimes. Except when he has a job to do. In that case, he's all business, baby, but not that kind of business.
I wonder if they had to get licensing to include Bugs Bunny in this.
What, to mention Bugs Bunny? I don't think so. I think you're allowed to mention other IPs in a thing.
But are you allowed to draw really? Sure, it's Porky anyway. But are you allowed to draw Porky?
I think you're allowed to draw Porky when it looks nothing like Porky. I mean, that barely even looks like a pig. It looks like a bat.
Yeah, crying bat. Yeah, that's a terrible Bugs as well.
And also, she just drew that straight on. She didn't bother
Doing
mapping
dots.
it,
No, yeah.
dotting it out or
She
anything.
cheated. She didn't do
But
any
then they're
cancellations.
just making it up. They're just making it up as they go along.
That was pretty flying.
Don't say something like that to him, because then he's just going to do this. You sleazy little man.
Oh god, yeah, we're the only single man and woman of consenting age. How much more of a setup do you need? Like, well, maybe some mild attraction would go.
Yeah,
would go
maybe,
somewhere towards it.
Maybe an actual reason for them to like each other. That would be good. I mean, he saves the day later on, and she likes him because of that. But it's just
He's so gullible. How does he not realise he's getting led on?
because he's that horny man.
He just wants to...
And he's as I
right,
say,
here will be fine. Your dad could walk in, but I don't care.
yeah, take that, you dingus. And I mean, at least he does sort of learn a lesson from this.
I mean...
I think he does actually apologise later.
I mean, he's not an absolute asshole. He's just clueless.
Yeah, he's just
He's just a bit of an idiot.
like I say,
really.
he just has a hard time.
He's just Joey in space.
Yes, pretty much. He just has a hard time looking past his own ego. But every so often, he gets a little kick in the teeth, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I should maybe be slightly less of an asshole."
Right, well, in this little lull, we shall do interesting or not interesting. Bwah, bwah, bwah.
Let's go.
Interestingly enough, we all know that the theme tune to this was Apollo 440, Lost in Space.
Indeed.
But did you know that British band Lighthouse Family recorded a song called Lost in Space for this film, but the producers decided not to use it, and it wasn't released until 2 months after the film?
Gutted.
I mean, I still haven't even listened to the song, but I can't imagine it's nearly as good as Apollo 440.
I mean, that would be pretty difficult.
But is that interesting or not interesting?
Interesting.
It
I
is
would say
interesting.
It's interesting. Yeah.
I shall give you the ding, even though that's not the requirement for the... I don't know the rules. I don't know the rules of this. I'm trying to remember how you do it. But ding, yes, interesting.
I explained earlier the ding for interesting, for not interesting. And
fair play.
Whatever the person guesses is irrelevant.
Well,
it's almost as if it wasn't a very fully thought out idea.
No, well, I mean, yeah.
That has kind of been evolving with every iteration of it. You know?
It's basically just how can we make IMDb trivia more interesting? By deciding whether it's interesting or not. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing with IMDb trivia. That's what gave me the idea, because I was the first time I did it, I was just looking for trivia to talk about, and then I noticed it's got the little voting thing on it where you can vote on whether the trivia is interesting or not interesting. I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just do that. I'll just straight up copy that and pretend like I came up with it myself.
I guess I'm just doing multi-part stealing then, because I'm stealing from you, stealing from them.
Well, that's...
Does it count as stealing if I'm doing a takeover today? Today is the special guest takeover.
No, because I've voluntarily handed over the reins. You know,
not regretting it yet.
Not so far.
It's a very baggy jumper you're wearing there, Will.
Nothing wrong with
no
comfy. See, now this is the
looks like it was his dad's though.
This is the bit that annoys me. With you were saying earlier with his dad, that's funny.
Yeah,
that's good. What you were saying, the dad earlier being unrealistically skeptical of his son building a time machine.
Yeah,
which was fair enough when they were back on Earth.
Yeah,
but there is literally bubbles in space-time occurring.
Everyone's just like, time travel's impossible.
And this kid has a very reasonable explanation as to why it's happening. And you, William, what's your face? Hurt. Supposed scientist man should be like, yeah, that does sound reasonable. I mean, we're dealing with a very unexpected phenomenon here, so we should really be exploring any explanation here. And he's just like, no,
what if they're not natural? Yeah. This could only be produced naturally. No, bullshit. Actually, I completely agree how annoying it is. It reminds me a lot of things like Star Trek and like, Buffy or any of these sort of programs.
Yeah.
Where regularly throughout the series somebody will be possessed or somebody will be like not in control of their own body. Mm-hmm. And then the second it happens to somebody and you as a viewer knows that they're being possessed, the actor's like, oh my god, they've gone insane, let's lock them up.
This is unprecedented.
Yeah, this has never happened before. And even though they're saying crazy things that we could probably look into and investigate, they're clearly lying. It's like, no, just...
Yeah, it's just the instant... The trope of just like instantly dismissing the person that has the right answer.
Yeah.
But it does... I mean, the whole point of it is the family is trying to reconnect. And they're trying to understand each other better.
You'd think they'd probably have gone on some team-building exercises before they went away on a 10-year mission.
Well, their parents were too busy preparing for the mission itself. And you would think they would get like other people to do that. But then I guess he's a kind of a control freak, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, he's making a stabby thing out of his awards.
I wonder if that'll come into play later.
Well, I hope you got permission to bring that extra weight aboard, because that might have fucked up the launch.
I think it was in his personal effects.
Yeah, I bet you any money that kid still gets people shouting "Danger, Will Robinson" at him down the street. Actually, maybe not, because he probably doesn't look like that anymore. He's probably
and like I said before, does anybody like if I bumped into this guy in the street? I'm not going to instantly recognise him as being that kid from that Lost in Space movie.
No.
Maybe if he said, maybe if I bumped into him and was like, oh, hello, stranger, let's have a conversation.
Oh, did you know I was Will Robinson in the Lost in Space movie from 1998?
Oh, that's very interesting.
That's a
fact for you to be out with.
Randomly throwing out.
Yeah.
God, look at the size of his boots. Jesus,
or maybe
child-side clothes for this guy.
Maybe he just introduces himself as that. Just as standard, just to kind of get over that hurdle as quickly as possible.
I did play Will Robinson.
See, here he is. He's apologising. He was a sleazy little scumbag, and he apologised. He apologised, so it's fine.
Like pulling steel needles through my cheeks.
See, they're learning a little bit of respect for each other. Yeah?
Yeah. You're pushing it.
He's
Don.
still, yeah. He's always got to just be a little bit sleazy.
Strong suit.
But she's holding her own.
She's playing along.
You know,
yeah.
she's like, I like her sass. You know what I mean? Thinking. It's not really your strong suit, is it?
You dingus.
Yeah, clown.
Yeah, just stick your finger in it. That's how you do a test first, isn't it? Not a stick or something benign. That's
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, that was scientific. Even he's saying it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just surprised that you're a sensible
Yeah,
person.
they don't have any... You'd think they'd be wearing, like, hazmat suits or something, you know, some sort of radiation
This is an
protection.
alien planet. Is there air? You don't know. That was a Galaxy Quest reference for anybody who didn't get that now.
Yes, we got it.
Bit of Sam Rockwell. I love you, wife. You don't have a name, I just call you wife. Son or daughter, you're Squirt now. I'm calling you Squirt.
Blarp. So I think you see it there as well. Yeah, see little suckers on his cheeks. That's attention to detail. They didn't have to do that.
Well, yeah. Do you think that it was a puppet then that they're just like CGing over?
Well, I don't know.
Because I still think a puppet would have been fine. We've learned from Baby Yoda that puppets do great.
Yeah, but like I say, it goes wrong quite a lot. Like building an animatronic, and it just looks horrid.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But then when you're building a little alien creature like that, but then it's like wriggling about and crawling all over everything, and that'd be very difficult to do
motion, yeah.
with an animatronic.
Well, it's obviously a bit warmer in the future. God, it looks so like fungal and spory. It doesn't look
looks
pleasant at all.
I compare that to like the planet that they go to in the Netflix series, which is just like
a jungle,
the American Midwest.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Oh, so this is him. Oh, that's okay.
Yeah,
so,
he's putting his brain in the computer brain.
Oh yeah,
and is teaching it how to tell jokes.
To finish you off with a bit of my personality, so it makes the robot love baseball.
That explains the warm, fuzzy feeling I experience when I think about baseball.
Yep.
How do I remember all these lines?
Because you've probably seen this about 500,000 times.
I know, I'm sort of sad that we didn't watch it on my original VHS copy. My ex
that would have been a disaster. The tape would have broken halfway through, and
Are you criticising the wonders of VHS right now?
I'm criticising the longevity of magnetic tape, yes.
Fair play. Fair play. Not too sure about the torch dangling off his gilet. Looks like it's just getting in the way.
Yeah, it needs to secure that.
Badass welding shot of the ladies in action there.
Yep. Everybody's chipping in.
Can you imagine, right? If this movie came out nowadays, people would be whinging about how, oh, look, it's all the women having to do all the engineering-y stuff. It's like, no, it's just they're on the mission. They're part of the crew.
Well, yeah,
of
who
course
else?
They're doing it.
They don't have.
But
who
like,
else
I
is
can
going to do
imagine,
it?
but I can imagine like people having an issue with this and nowadays, like, oh, why is the doctor got to be a girl? Because it's the fucking story and it's Judy Robinson. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's.
Yeah, I mean, people were outraged about that, but then,
Were they?
well, outraged in big
Yeah.
quotation, Twitter outrage, you know. The
God.
sort of Twitter outrage of, oh, a woman or a non-white person is appearing on television or in a movie in some form, therefore it's social justice gone mad,
I mean, it
and
has to
we're
be
living
said.
in 1984, etc.,
This
etc.
is literally one of the whitest movies we've seen, certainly.
That is
There's been
true.
Lenny James earlier on with a silly voice offering to buy the beer.
Yeah.
You know, and that was it.
Yes. Oh no, he's been shot
Yeah.
in the back as well.
You know,
Jesus.
I can imagine in an alternate universe, Will Smith played Don West. Or
Yeah, I
something
can
like
see
that.
that.
Like, you know, I'm trying to think, because, you know...
Well, he sort of did do that in that awful Afterlife movie. What was it called? I think it was that. Where him and his kid go off to that.
Looks cool.
Go off to that planet.
Why did the robot cross the road?
He was carbon bonded to the chicken. That's actually quite good. That's quite
For
clever.
a computer, yeah.
For a chicken crossing the road joke.
That sounds like old Morse code.
What's new Morse code?
Well, it's like the...
He said the line! He said it says danger, Will Robinson,
danger, Will Robinson. Good stuff. I suppose it's like with like old Morse code and new Morse code. It's like the NATO alphabet and the phonetic alphabet. Exactly the same thing, but they changed the name of it.
I don't know why they call it the phonetic alphabet though either, because it's not phonetics. It's just the letter it begins with.
Do they actually call it that, or have I just made that up?
No, they definitely used to. I would call it the NATO alphabet, or
but it's definitely not called that anymore.
No. No, I don't know.
Yeah, because
fair play.
Why would you want it associated with a military organisation? That doesn't seem necessary to me. Shoot him! Shoot him!
He's so manipulative, but I do quite like the banter between these two in this film. Okay, I think we're back. It glitched out weirdly there, but it's got back in time, I think.
Yeah, well, we're fine.
We're fine.
I don't know, right?
We'll try and give a timestamp in a moment. People get. I mean, it's caught up enough, I'm sure.
It's fine. It was like a second or two out of sync.
What monsters roam these alien wilds?
Ooh, spooky. Oh, the pain of it all.
The pain. It's such a good voice, and we're not even listening to it.
I'm hearing it in my head.
This is true. At least Will's confident everything's going okay.
Yeah. I mean, they probably will make it back. Fine.
Well, I think whilst we're waiting in this bland little moment, it's time for my final interesting or not interesting. Nice. Or penultimate interesting or not
Whoa,
interesting. Penultimate.
Let's
go! So according to the screenwriter, if this movie didn't receive a sequel, or if it didn't receive a sequel rather, it would have been about the Robinson family making it to Alpha Prime. However, they discover that Alpha Prime is already populated with humans because they previously went through a wormhole in the first movie that sends them into the future. There would also be a subplot with Judy Robinson creating a cure for Dr. Smith to prevent his spider infection and not turning into Spider Smith. And apparently Penny would also end up receiving the same colour-changing abilities as Blarp. So is that interesting or not interesting?
I'm going to say that's not interesting because all of that sounds like crap.
Ding! It was not interesting. I mean, I agree, it was not interesting. So, predictable Hollywood tripe, but I would watch it.
Yeah.
I would definitely have watched it.
I mean, I watched fucking Morbius. I'll watch anything. Jesus. Have you seen Morbius?
Don't worry, the Morbius connection is coming.
Oh my god. Really?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Oh shit.
Oh yes. The Morbius connection is coming.
Fucking hell.
And I think you'll be surprised.
I'm already surprised. I'm only going to get more surprised.
Well, there is just one actor that we haven't actually dealt with yet.
It's, older Will.
But do you recall who plays older Will?
I know. I mean, I can picture him, but I don't know.
Just you wait, because you're going to be surprised. And I have both...
That's not Jared Leto, is it?
I have both an interesting and not interesting thing, and just some fun facts relating to the man who plays older Will.
Okay.
I can give you a clue, or we can wait till we get to it.
I think wait till we get there because I'm fascinated.
See if you clock who it is. Because I can
picture the guy's face very, very clearly.
If you can, you'll definitely know. I don't think you can, and I think you'll be surprised. But also, an interesting fun fact: the person who we're talking about was dubbed, so their real voice isn't even in the film for most of it. And they were dubbed by a man called Lex Lang.
Right.
Now, Lex Lang...
In this or in
Morbius? In this movie.
Right.
So there's... hang on, let me get the thing here. So, I mean, I'll lead into it now. So, this is an interesting or not interesting.
Okay. Let's go.
Englishman Jared Harris stars as older Will.
Right.
However, all of his dialogue was dubbed over to sound more American by Lex Lang, who also looped lines in this film for William Hurt and Gary Oldman. Lex Lang also voices Flashy Flash in One Punch Man and lots of other anime and things like that.
Right.
Is this interesting or not interesting that Jared Harris was dubbed?
Did you say who he was dubbed by?
Yes, Lex Lang.
Lex Lang. Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I suppose that's interesting. I don't really know any of those names, but I mean, that's kind of interesting, I guess.
So, I mean, I put interesting because
Okay.
Jared Harris is actually very good at accents. See The Expanse for reference. Jared
Okay.
Harris is one of the belters, and he does a great belter voice.
Ah, right. Okay.
So now
wait.
you're picturing who Jared Harris is.
Yes.
So
Yes.
now the question is, we'll talk about Jared Harris playing Older Will, also known as Professor Moriarty.
Oh, I know who he is in Morbius, I think.
Perhaps best known for his role in Resident Evil Apocalypse. I mean, not really. Or perhaps his appearance in the greatest Morby that ever morbed, Morbius.
He's
He's a great actor from a great acting family in too much to mention, but pretty much awesome in anything he's in, especially Morbius.
yeah, especially
He
Morbius.
really made that movie sing.
Yeah, of course. He's the guy that runs the home that they're in at the
Yes,
start.
and here he
isn't
is. So this is Jared Harris
Ah,
as Older Will. He doesn't look like him, and he doesn't really sound like him because he's dubbed for most of his lines.
That is fascinating. I can see it now.
I could,
can,
it was completely mind blowing to me. And the Morbius connection, there it is.
That is
He's the head of the medical facility that Milo and the other one are in.
I did not see any of that coming. That has changed my life.
So was that whole thing interesting
That
or
was
not interesting?
Very interesting.
Ding indeed.
Ding
Oh shit!
to the max. Oh shit!
A
Indeed.
boy of your intelligence should never swear. Oh
Yeah,
shit! Indeed.
that's the other quote from
Yeah.
this movie. The three memorable lines. Actually, there's a little more than that.
Look what my flights of fancy have wrought. Also, I didn't write it down, but fun fact: coming up, we have Spider-Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Gary Oldman is
Spider-Smith.
credited twice in the
Spider-Smith.
credits as Dr. Smith and Spider-Smith.
Well, they are technically two different people. So yeah.
Technically, they're not, but
No, they are.
wibbly
They're-
wobbly.
they're-
That
yeah.
doesn't mean they're a different person.
I'm
you a
pretty
different person
I'm
when
pretty
you were 6 years
confident.
old?
I'm pretty confident in saying that Spider-Smith is changed significantly enough from non-Spider-Smith for them to be considered different people.
He looks a bit like Jared Harris here. I mean, it is him, but he doesn't
Yeah.
look like he normally does, and it fucks with my head.
I mean, like there are certain shots of him where it's just like I can see his face, and I can see him as a belter. He's one of the like belter leaders.
Yeah,
Isn't he?
yeah.
That's really cool.
So I'm glad I held on to those fun facts
Yeah.
until the appropriate time.
Yeah.
I think that's basically all my interesting or not interesting done. Then you did very well.
Hey, what can I say? I know movies,
You do indeed.
sort of.
And I think that's all the interesting nonsense I have to add. One thing I will say is guess the IMDb rating.
Oh, for this,
Yeah.
what's the rating out of an IMDb?
Out of 10,
Out of
but
10.
it's in decimals.
I think it's a 6.7.
Unfortunately, it is only a 5.2.
Oh, really?
Yes, according to
That's-
it wasn't well received.
that's
it
a
was
shame.
bit of a flop, but it didn't. For a budget of, I think I wrote down. So I can't remember. But I think it was a budget of 80 million. It only made 150 or something.
Oh,
like
that
that.
is
So
bad.
it wasn't quite enough to make
Yeah.
it all back.
Yeah, 'cause I don't really know that much about like film budgeting, but from what I've heard, it's like if it doesn't make at least double its money back, or you have to the budget that it states, you kind of have to double that for like marketing and so forth.
He's just pointing out how much of a bad dad he is.
Yeah, he's
such
awful.
A harsh sequence.
He's
but it's
awful.
So
He's
fair.
he is a terrible dad. He's absent most of the time. He's constantly dismissive
And
of
also
his
wooden
children.
as fuck in this film.
And yeah, just very bland, isn't he?
I feel like he's probably the most poorly cast member of the cast.
Because
he's good.
He's fine, but he just doesn't.
He
doesn't really have a lot to work with, though.
He doesn't have much presence, and he can't hammer up like Dr. Smith can.
Yeah, true. He's just got to play the kind of stoic, sensible father figure, and that's necessary for the story, but just not.
And this is him manipulating him into giving him the gun.
But you just wouldn't do that. You're supposed to be clever, little boy.
The issue, I think, is that he's getting more affection and attention from Dr. Smith than he has from his dad in the past year.
That's fair enough.
I think it's pretty easy to understand how he's so fucked up in the head.
Yeah, I guess.
He's like a fucking 10-year-old boy dragged into deep space, mostly against his will. Oh, you numpty! Don't give him the gun.
Silly boy.
At you. Never trust anyone, including me. Especially me. Other fun facts relating to this.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the TV series? They had the chariot, which they drive around on the series. I mean, it appears in the Netflix series as well. They have the chariot and they have to bodge it up because it's like half built, remember? And they have to stick the wheels on and stuff. It's like a flat pack.
Vaguely remember that.
Rover thing. In this, the only reference to the chariot is, it got destroyed on crashing when we crashed. There's a few things like that they mentioned by name and just don't actually appear in the film, but it's just like member berries for people who watched the original.
We don't have the budget for this, so it was destroyed in the crash.
That robot does look cool.
Yeah, I like it. I like that it's like just a hodgepodge.
I knew you were going to say that.
Just a slapping together of stuff. You did it! You made a time machine!
One question I have about this.
Mm-hmm. Just the one?
Well, no, several, but one specific question I have. Now, Will's 10 years old.
Yep.
He's got the knowledge of how to build his time machine, and over the years, he figures out how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of resources he'd need. Like, where's he getting the energy from to do all this? Is he using the old reactor? From the ship,
you
and
see it.
He's using enough power left.
Yeah, he's using the fuel.
Oh, actually, because there is a whole thing about just one trip. Oh,
yeah.
Smith is here. Creepy Smith.
Never fear, Smith is here. That looks very good.
That's like Doctor Doom right there.
Yeah. If Doctor Doom was ever done well on film, she hasn't really been up to this point.
Are you dissing the Fantastic Four films with Jessica Alba?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, okay.
I like those movies.
I like them for what they are.
But the Doctor Doom in those movies is probably the best Doctor Doom that we've had.
You know the real sad situation about those movies? They didn't do a third one, so we can't do it. The trilogy is the conclusion to the series.
Well, I mean, we could do the newer one.
I've already picked out a trilogy.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, we're ready.
Oh. How exciting.
Oh, yes, it will be. The third one's going to be trash.
The third one's always trash. Unless they're all trash, in which case...
Oh, no. I don't want to encourage you to watch trash. I'm trying to give you good films to watch this season.
Okay.
We're starting with Lost in Space. I mean, it's only going back. It's only getting better from here.
The only way is up. Right, I'm going to need to nip to the loo.
Very well. You're missing all the fun bits at the end, but okay.
I'm not going to take that long.
Oh, Smith scrabbling up the side there. The animation is pretty good. Although that also looks like a puppet with some swinging fabric attached, so it's hard to tell what's what. Must be noted that as part of my Jim Henson joke there, apparently the Henson Company were involved in a lot of the puppetry of this, which doesn't surprise me at all, because all the puppetry is very good. Very standard for, like I say, for 8 people to be operating a 2-ton robot. And now he's going to use the power of friendship to save the robot's soul. Because we're friends. Of course friendship doesn't compute. You're a robot.
Robot has no heart. Powered by fusion.
It's a bit of a cruel situation to make a young child act so emotionally with a robot, but he does a good job. For a 10-year-old, or however old he was at the time. He was, 11? But befriending a robot is the best way. As learned also in the most recent Netflix series. Come on, Don. Save the day. Oh no, you did it. The robot saved himself. You did it, robot. You saved yourself. The robot managed to save himself after being convinced by Will that he has a heart and is a friend.
Oh, yeah.
With the power of love.
That's the power of love.
That's a very different Power of Love song.
We're
not onto the Back to the Futures yet. Ooh, that would be a good trilogy.
I would. I was thinking about that, actually.
But that's for a later day.
Yeah.
That can be a dedicated whole single session of all three movies in one.
Oof.
I've never done that, and I'd love to.
I mean, fucking hell, we sat through those fucking Hobbit movies, so I think we can pretty much endure anything after that.
This is true. And it has to be said that the, 130 minutes of this film have been flying by, because that's such a wonderfully enjoyable movie.
It's a good movie. I don't understand why it's so poorly received and maligned, because there's not really anything.
It's great for what it is, and watching films knowing what they want to be and what they intend to be.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously it's not high art or anything like that, but it's got some good acting.
Far from it.
The like production design and everything
It's
is all
well
excellent.
cast, it's well produced, it's all good. Like, it's silly and janky, but even the sets, like, they're nice sets. Like,
Yeah,
they
like
look
this
grimy
looks like an
and shitty
alien,
and-
weird alien planet, and yeah, it's all good. I like it.
I mean, it looks like an alien planet in a Star Trek series in a set in a building, but yes. It does look like an alien planet.
Yeah, but that's what you want with a Lost in
Exactly.
Space movie. It's supposed to look
You want
a
a
little
bit
bit janky.
You want a bit of production jank.
Oh, she's using the lessons learned. Some that very conveniently formed into an arrow that is pointing in the right direction.
I think that was
somehow.
goofy, wasn't it? Didn't she just somehow give off a goofy firework or something?
Well,
face?
it was pretty goofy.
Oh.
I don't know, because part of me thinks it was meant to look like the Bugs Bunny that she drew earlier.
Yeah.
But part of me thinks it just looks like an arrow that's meant to be pointing at where the ship is.
Well, it is just a generic marker. It doesn't matter what it looked like. It could have just been a single flare and it would have helped, but... Oh, here we go.
There we go. I'm surprised that you haven't delved into how the time travel mechanics in this don't really make a lot of sense.
I don't think we ever need to delve into
Because, yeah, they never really make any sense, do
Well, I think what I will say is that the way I take the time travel is that it's parallel worlds rather than actual... It's not like travelling along the same timeline. They're creating multiple versions of themselves.
they? I suppose.
Because, like, whatever happens now, this Will can never exist because young Will has interacted with him and changed him. You know, it's like... It's a paradox, so... Obviously, they're being contained within the bubble of time, like the temporal wake in Star Trek First Contact.
Yes.
Let's go with that answer.
Let's go with that. That's good enough.
That was creepy.
That was very creepy.
I haven't touched your cold reptile insectoid hand in a while.
Yeah.
Oh, you've only just twigged that he's evil after 20 years.
Well, 20 years of him looking after him. You know, he's been playing the long game there, as old
He probably
Spider
didn't
Smith.
need looking after for much more than a few years. Once he's like...
Yeah,
mid-teens,
I mean,
he's probably got a bit-
there's going to be some sort of developmental issues going on there. Because
Also a great deal of trauma from the death of his family.
Yeah, also that.
Also, somehow, this thing is fucking huge. It's like Men in Black.
Yeah.
How did you get out of that little body?
Well, he's just kind of been growing over
your
over
skin's
the years.
hanging off your bones. That's that, brother.
I think the face looks a little bit janky.
Yeah, it was better
Yeah.
when it was in the...
Yeah,
Good.
but as with most CGI creatures, usually better when you can't really see them
I
clearly.
gotta say, though, like, for what it is, it fits in the set quite well. Like, for the period, it's really good stuff for the period.
Yeah.
And, like, I can allow my sort of suspension of disbelief with this kind of film.
Yeah. Let's dance, motherfucker.
Should have killed me when you had the chance. Yeah, I should have killed you the fucking second I saw you were on board and that you were a fucking traitor.
Oh, it's the stabby thing, and he's going to do the line now. He's going to do the line
What's the line?
in a minute. He's going to do it.
It's time for a snack before my trip. Jesus Christ, he's a fucking crazy man. Oh, cut your nails, mate. Yeah, actually, that's quite a that's quite a trajectory. Yeah. That's quite a trajectory, though. You remember one of the first scenes we see him in that cage where he like gets jostled around and he's annoyed because he's chipped a nail.
Uh-huh.
Now look, he's not maintaining his manicure now, is he?
Well, yeah, he's gone a bit beyond that.
But he's got extra hands. He'd have more fingers to worry about. Oh dear.
Yeah, he's...
Did you not realise he had younglings in him?
No, he knew. That was his whole thing, was he was going to take his children to Earth
And he forgot they were cannibals.
and they would feast. Well, I don't think he was expecting his face to get sliced open and then his
Oh, I
egg
see what you
sac
mean.
to be popped. Yeah.
Nobody expects their egg sacs.
I
to be
mean,
popped.
it doesn't really bear thinking about, does it? Ugh.
Oh,
that
that's
was
a
very
conveniently
lucky.
unconscious fall. He
Was
by the
saved.
necklace.
That's good, actually.
It's Chekhov's necklace.
There's a whole lot of setting stuff up and paying and stuff off, and I like that.
That's how we know it's a
That's-
good movie.
That's called storytelling, baby.
Wake up, Jared.
The belt is under attack.
Yeah.
Those pesky Martians are up to no good.
October 1st, 2058. 61 years after the setting of the original.
Yeah.
You guessed it.
But like
You guessed it
yeah,
right.
I did. It was pure blind guesswork. But see, the thing here is like they're changing the time portal so that it, or when the ship takes off and it gets destroyed because it can't escape, and then they go back in time to stop that from happening. Just go back in time and stop the whole mission from happening. Because it's been just a catalogue of disasters. One after the other. Just go back in time and just be like, listen, I know this is really weird, there being two of us here, but let's just move past that.
Oh, well, no, actually, this is it. So this is the bubble closed behind him. It's his only way back, but he actually comes back through the time machine.
Yes. Okay.
So
But
they only have enough for one trip, and this is the trip they use to save him then, rather than... But you're right, he should have gone back and just cloned himself.
Just go back and undo the whole thing.
Yeah.
Or even better, go back even further and stop Earth from being fucked up in the first place.
Well, now they've got a time machine. They can do that whenever.
Well, I don't think they have... That's the thing. They don't... And that's kind of why I'm glad they never got any sequels, because it'd be kind of that thing of, well, they've invented time travel now, so
Yeah.
surely that's
Well,
just their
actually,
solution for every problem.
You say that, but they didn't take the time machine with them, and it apparently took Will 20 years to build the machine. So...
Yeah,
even
but
with-
if he's working... Now that him and his dad have reconnected, they would surely work together
Yeah,
to
maybe it's
build
only going to
it.
take 10 years. So
And it
it'd
would...
be-
I mean, it would take a long time to build, but they could still rebuild it. Like whatever planet they end up on next, just build the time machine and then go back and stop the mission from happening.
And they're doing the same thing again. They're going to fly through the planet like they flew through the sun.
Yeah. Set up and pay off, baby!
That's how we know it's a good movie.
Whoosh.
It certainly looks like his dad now, doesn't he, with the beard and stuff?
Yeah.
It is a cool looking ship, actually. I quite like the Jupiter 2.
It's a bit weirdly kind of asymmetrical and bulbous.
Yeah, it's got the Millennium Falcon school of shipbuilding.
Yeah, fair. It sort of looks like a cross between the Millennium Falcon and a big explosion.
And pop.
Well, it looks more like the Heart of Gold than the Heart of Gold that was in the Hitchhiker's movie, which didn't look like the Heart of Gold at all.
Well, the Heart of Gold is supposed to look like a training shoe.
Yeah. But I was going to say, it looks like a cross between the Millennium Falcon and a Mon Calamari cruiser.
Oh, that's exactly what I was going to say. Tip of my tongue.
Yes, do it. Go back further than that. Go back to when the mission was first conceived of.
Yeah.
And just be like, listen, we've got to rethink this whole thing because we're going about this in a very silly way.
Yeah.
Let's go to Alpha Centauri Prime, whatever it is, first.
Alpha Prime.
And build the thing there.
Well, no, this is what I was saying from the very beginning. Yes. I completely agree. But we're not.
Why don't they both go? Why? Oh, I suppose it's like one person, one trip.
You know what, though? You do know the exact reason why any of the bits in this are shared.
Why?
Akiva Goldsman.
Oh, yeah.
So any of the shit bits are going to be written by him, and any of the good bits are going to be based on ideas from other randoms and the original series.
Yeah.
I think we can safely say, like, all he's good at is just, like, manipulating other people's good ideas.
Yeah. Well, I'll be a son of a gun.
I mean,
Jump
at
through
least
it.
Try and jump through. Yeah, it's portal.
I mean, the planet's going to explode around you. You might as well. You might get liquefied.
It's not even worth trying. I'm either going to definitely die or maybe die if I try and go through.
I mean, he says
rather?
that he can't physically go through it, but he can still like project sound and light through it. So
just get your younger self to download your consciousness into a robot. Apparently, that's doable now.
Well, partly, at least, I suppose.
Well, he only needed a bit. But I bet if he tried, he could build himself a decent robot.
Goodbye! Right, let's...
Oh, you got your necklace
fucking
back, so you
lost
don't
in
need to turn
space.
evil. I'm glad you came back this time. Thanks, Dad. That's the first thing you've ever told me, and I felt very unloved most of my life.
Well, there's plenty of time to make up for that, I guess. You know,
William Hurt learned to show emotion. At
They
the last
have
5 minutes
all-
of the scene.
they've all learned and grown, and that's quite a funny bit where he's like, "The planet is exploding around us. Hello, can we maybe do this later?"
We're doomed. Punch him.
Nice. Could have done that literally right at the start and saved yourself a lot of bother, but you know.
God, he's pretty bloodied up, isn't he?
Yeah, they've been through some adventures, you know. Went through a time. Several times, in fact.
You have to go.
And that's the thing as well. It's like, what time period are they actually in? Because they go into the first bubble,
They're out of the bubble. They're back.
Then they
in present
encounter the Proteus, and then they go on the planet, and then they go into a bubble that's inside the bigger bubble, and then they come out of that bubble, and that bubble collapses. So what happened to the bigger bubble? Does that collapse, and they're still kind of inside that? I suppose that makes sense, doesn't it? They're trapped in the future. This is a fucking horror story.
I think they're in the present now.
No, because like when the small bubble on the planet collapsed, the bigger bubble would have collapsed as well. And they were still inside that bigger bubble when it collapsed. So they would just be stuck there. They would have no way back. Because they can't leave the bubble, because the bubble doesn't exist anymore. You see what I mean?
I don't know.
I'm lost.
Right. Oh, you're lost in space.
I am, yeah.
So they go into the first bubble, right? And then they meet the Proteus.
Right, which was from the future.
Yes. So they
in-
go into the first bubble.
Hold that thought. The Proteus was from the future.
Yeah.
But they are in the present when they witness the vehicle from the future.
Initially, yes, but then they go
So they're
into
now
the
back-
bubble.
Yeah, but then after that, all the bubbles are dissipated and they're back in the present.
No.
Yes.
No. Because no.
I mean, that's what the plot wants you to think.
No, I don't think it is. I don't.
pretty
Well,
sure
I mean,
it
it
is.
doesn't actually specifically state where they're. But they go into the first bubble, and then they go into the second bubble. They come out of the second bubble, but they don't come out of the first bubble, and then the bubbles collapse. So there's like 3 time periods. There's the present. There's like 20 years in the future, and then there's like 40 years in the future, whatever the smaller bubble is. So they go from the present.
It's only 20 years.
No, but
Because
that's
Will's
what the
only
small.
20 years older.
But there was 2 bubbles.
Yeah, one of them. Oh, I don't know. I don't care. They're escaping. They're soon to be not lost because they've got the data.
I mean, I think they're
ships
so far in the depths of space that time is kind of an irrelevant factor now. Anyway,
Yes, true.
kaboom!
They just blew up a planet.
Yeah, that's some fucking evil empire shit right there.
Yeah, and that's some pretty randomly throwing. Those bits are all going in random directions. For those.
Now they're all going in the same
Yeah,
direction.
that's very strange.
Well, they would have been bouncing off each other, you know.
Yeah, true.
Good lord,
Is she gonna kiss
That's-
Don now?
there are children present. Please.
You earned this, a peck on the cheek, and now she's gonna.
And see,
now
he's
she's gonna give him a promise note.
he's a little bit disappointed, but he's okay. He's going to move on, and then she's like, "Let's smooch, baby."
And they're all just like, oh, okay.
Ooh, this is actually kind of troubling. What's going on here? I don't like this.
Yeah, keep an eye on the road.
This is a
Eyes forward, Don.
deeply toxic relationship that's developing here. I don't think there's a lot of
That shared look was great.
yeah.
You just making out with my daughter. I mean,
Yeah.
she's fine with it, so I guess I'm fine with it. Yeah, why would Penny have got the abilities of Blarb?
I mean, we all have the ability to blarb. We just have to have consumed the right food and drink. Never mind. Moving on.
Indeed.
Oh, they're getting sucked into a black hole because,
The
of course,
planet's gravity field is collapsing. What does that mean?
it's collapsing in on itself. It's creating a gravity well.
You mean the mass of... No, that's not how... No. Somehow the destruction of the planet is... Or maybe it's the time machine that's made...
Well, yeah, I think that's kind of the implication.
Oh,
and
then
they're off! And now we get
And
some
that's the
Apollo
end.
440.
Do we put the music on just for this?
A little bit, yeah.
So that was Lost in Space.
We have to get to the chorus. Here we go. Do, do.
I'm so glad this isn't a video podcast showing off my acting and my dancing.
Yeah, I'm glad nobody can actually see that. Right, that's enough of that.
This Cold War just got
It did get very hot.
So, even though that only got 5.2 out of 10 on IMDb, I'm giving that a solid 7.5.
Yeah, that's fair enough, I would say. Yeah, it's not nearly that
And
bad.
there
at
wasn't
all.
nearly as much awfulness and inappropriateness, and it was a nice.
There was
a
enough
family film.
There was enough inappropriateness to develop Matt LeBlanc's character,
yes,
and it didn't push it too much. And it really could have. It could have gone super sleazy with it, But they held off on
'Cause
that,
he
and I'm
never-
proud of them for it.
He was sleazy, and he was obviously into her, but he never pushed himself upon her, and then she just randomly.
Well,
smoked him
he
at the end.
sort of...
That's the arc, is it? Is that the arc we're going with?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, he does sort of get a bit pushy at that one point, but
Well,
then...
no. However, at that one point, she was definitely leading him on because he was too dumb to realise she was pranking him.
Well, yes.
So, like,
Yeah.
I think
they're
we'll allow
just...
it.
That's what I'm saying. It's a toxic relationship because you know that they're just going to be deceptive and manipulative to one another, and he's probably going to cheat on her at some point, and it's just the whole thing, really. But anyway, yeah, that was that movie.
That was that, and that was fun.
We're done now, and off to do other things.
Huzzah!
Huzzah!